Welcome back to The Strongest Magician in the Demon Lord's Army Was a Human. Anime Review, episode number 5. We're here reviewing episodes 9 and 10 of the series. Well, in the case of these two episodes, Ike is pretty much tasked to secure more food for the Demon Lord's Army. Despite the fact Evelyn is flourishing perfectly fine, there's no food for them, but not the rest of the army. So we need to get more food. So he's being sent to the town of Zenevia and to secure a trade treaty with them. It was part of the Trade Federation. Wait, Trade Federation? Star Wars all this? No, completely unrelated. So, basically, Lilith and Juva basically hear about this, and either one want to go, and Ike's like, nope, you two are not going. Sadie, well, basically, they'll a little later that Sadie's going with them. So, they arrive at the town, they get close to town, and then all of a sudden, they just by sheer coincidence, this has happened since anime come across, a carriage is attacked. Not by bandits this time, surprisingly. A lot of times it's bandits. This time it's attacked by pirates. I'm like, that's interesting. I do gotta admit, this actually is quite original. Normally put characters in fantasy anime I've seen like this, usually by bandits, mercenaries, monsters, but pirates? That's a bit unusual. I gotta admit, that's actually a really smart idea. So, they're wounding several men and protecting the person in the carriage. And of course, the open carriage is like, ooh, a pretty lady. And then, of course, and by the way, Ike is doing this. He's basically feeling without his cloak on. Of course, they know he's basically working with demons. So, he uses magic to take them all out. And then he basically stumbles across, oh, we have the daughter of the leader of Zenevia. Now you're probably thinking, is the ruler a man? A lot of time it's a man. You'd be surprised, basically, who all I mentioned this is a daughter, but what gender the leader is quite interesting. I gotta admit, this is ballsy for this anime to do this. So, he takes the pirates and they're all arrested, and then, of course, basically Sadie rides with him inside the carriage, and when he sees her, by the way, her name is Yura, and she looks exactly like Sadie, like exactly like her. So when he sees her, like, wait, Sadie? He doesn't say Sadie, but he sees her, like, oh, this woman looks exactly like her. As a matter of fact, also, Sadie is later mistaken during one point, I think it was toward the end of this episode when she's volunteering for kitchen, she's actually mistaken for the Lord's daughter. I'm like, that's interesting. Well, the main reason why, because they both look exactly alike. So, then they arrive there with zero problem. You meet the leader, and it's a woman. I gotta admit, this is actually quite ballsy for this. Now, this is interesting, because a lot of the time, this is another common trope, basically, in fantasy, stuff like this. Usually the daughter of a leader of, like, these towns, a lot of the time, they're guys. And I gotta admit, this time being a woman, okay, we already knew it was a daughter of the Lord. We did not know it was actually a woman. That I actually gotta admit, that's actually quite interesting. And her name is Akita, and of course I introduce him as Ryu. He's like a magician from, I think it's like Akita, I think Korean, I think it's called. So then the daughter leaves, and then she figures, oh yeah, you're actually working with Demon King's army, aren't you? He's like, because that town doesn't exist, and it's a lie. Even though his name was Ike, and he technically is a human and demon, he was raised by Rahim, the Undying King. So, and of course, basically, she asks, what business does the Demon Lord's Army want with me? Ike's like, simple. I want to form a treaty with you. A trade treaty. And mention about pirates. He's like, okay, so I'll go to the pirates for you. No problem. And she's like, okay, so that's one of two conditions. The other, you have to marry my daughter. He's like, what? Yeah, they had just met. So, and of course, she apparently fell madly in love when they first met. So he's a bit hesitant at first. And of course, Sadie is a bit sad that, well, that he's basically fallen, that thinks he might fall for her, but he really doesn't. So, then the town gets attacked by the pirates led by this guy called Kaisa. He's also a very powerful mage leading a pirate ship. Now, pirates are something also I don't usually see in fantasy anime very much. especially from Japan, because a lot of the time they don't go with the pirates. Because that's usually a Western type of thing. Not usually. Now, there have been pirates in Japan, but not like when they dress like swashbucklers or from like Europe. This, I got is another originality for this. I like, wow, pirates, and they have cannons that are, get this, powered by magic. I'm like, interesting. And of course, it takes supplies from a ship that just came to town. And of course, well, then Sadie helps out with basically cooking in the kitchen because she can't do much anything by herself. So she goes to the kitchen. Of course, they think she's a guest. She doesn't have to do anything. So she decides to go shopping. Has presumably a gargoyle with her. And then we see another pirate in town witnessing all this. And he kidnaps her, thinking she's actually the Lord's daughter, but she really isn't. So, when of course that everybody finds out the side is taken, Ike immediately steps up, basically decides to go rescue herself. So, can I have a ship? Sure, no problem. And they go on the ocean to find him. Meanwhile, though, Sadie has wakened up in looks like a cargo hold, and like the guy kind of, oh, I'm gonna be vice captain. And later when she meets the commander, like, oh look, here's the daughter of the town we were basically thinking. And he looks at her like, no, she isn't. But I was one I made. Now, how in the world he can tell the difference between the two of them, I'm not sure. I mean, they both.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Mom just called me to bug and make sure you got your insurance done.
Okay, I'll work on it in a minute, okay? I'm middle of something.
Now, and I'm out of time, so I can't do anything when I want to finish up.
Okay. Anyways. That's something else altogether. Don't worry. I'm worry about it later. So, basically, like, so she puts on this very skimpy maid attire, not her normal look. And of course, Ike is looking for her, and then she proceeds to decide to find a way that I can find her by first using alcohol to burn some meat, look like some steak, and then she hides the cargo hold, where she comes to an idea and looks at a lantern like with the candle, like, and then she proceeds to set the ship on fire. Yep, set the ship ablaze, and of course, basically, she's like, oh no, she's been caught, and they're gonna punish her by chopping off one of her legs. But look, if Ike comes in, stops them, beats him up, and well, after a bit, takes out the captain. They take him back, and like, okay, so they have, and then of course as a thank you, and of course basically think, oh, you got for the second basic option, marrying the daughter. Meanwhile, though, Khalifa, who is left in charge of the town, is doing pretty badly against an attack from the Lance of Kings. So then, of course, seems like somewhere is about to take place, and then the Demon Lord herself shows up and says, Ike, you have to confess it right now because Kippa's about to lose. So, and the episode ends with her looking like about to lose, ending these 2 episodes. Excellent 2 episodes. I thoroughly enjoy these ones. Like, the best thing about these ones are, like, these episodes felt very original for storytelling. Pirates attacking carriage, and of course, pirates in general. The leader being a woman, I thought that was quite interesting. Now, of course, leader of like a Demon Lord army, that being a woman, that's quite different. But I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Yep. And believe it or not, we have only 2 more episodes left to go for this whole entire season. That's it. I don't know if it's going to be season 2 or not, but who knows? Okay? So yeah, this particular review, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do that like button. Well, I gotta take care of this one thing that my mom's been bugging me to take care of. So I'm gonna take care of it as soon as I put the video up. Okay? Thanks you. Bye.